Hey everybody, my name is Wes Conley. I'm here with Scott Terndrup. He is running again for town council for Strasburg. We're doing these with every candidate that's running for council just to get their story out. So Scott, thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. First of all, I do want to thank you for doing this. I think this is a great opportunity to use this kind of new technology to get the word out. So thank you for stepping up and doing this. It's awesome. So I'm a retired Virginia public school teacher. I had volunteered at the free clinic where my wife works. She's a social worker. And I'm currently working part-time for the Shenandoah Area Agency on Aging and helping with Medicare assistance. So that's currently what I'm doing. I guess my wife and I are a family of public servants. We have been for over 40 years. We have 3 grown children, and they're all Strasburg High School graduates. And of course, we have our dog Mo, which my youngest puts on Facebook all the time. So a lot of people in Strasburg know about our little puppy Mo. So
Cool.
that's a little bit about me.
Well, thank you. We'll kind of transition into, you've been here a while. Why do you still live in Strasburg?
Well, kind of the reason we had lived in Front Royal for a while, and my wife was raised on a dairy farm in the Adirondacks in New York, and Front Royal was just getting kind of big and traffic and congested and a little bit of drama over there. So Strasburg became that small town alternative for us. To Front Royal or to go to Winchester. We looked at all 3 communities, and we picked Strasburg because of its historic district. It was very walkable, and as we found out, we had a really strong neighborhood bond. Our kids all, a lot of young families in our area, and we all grew up together, and people looked out for each other, and so this became a really supportive town. And I've seen when there have been a crisis, when families have had hard times, this community rallies to them right away. So my son played football, and of course Coach Proctor is kind of a legend in our town, so that was a great experience. I loved the feeling of this town when you all would come back from a playoff game, and the streets would be in purple balloons, and the fire engines would be roaring, and you'd come in, and the streets would be covered with this community supporting us. So I mean, that's a great feeling. As a parent, I'm sure it probably was for you guys as teens, and I don't think the town has changed. We just that great small town feeling.
Still there,
So,
yeah.
Still here, so we still live here.
That's good. And why are you running for town council again?
Well, to me, I taught history and government in this public schools for 40 years, and really it started with my government kids kind of prodding me. It'd be really cool if you were, then what you're teaching us, and you could tell us how it really is. So I never really thought about actually participating in that way, but I feel like public service is a calling. Teaching, running for council, it's kind of like a ministry. I think all those are professions you're kind of called to if it's the right thing for you. And so to me, serving is not a burden. It's something I enjoy. It can be tough sometimes. You have a lot of people talking at you with a lot of different opinions. But I really believe that government is only as good as the people that are in it and running it. And whatever level, whether you're at the town or whether you're in Washington, D.C., it's the quality of the people that's what makes a democracy go.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of
that's
where I am.
That's a great answer. Yeah. Is there anything specific, or maybe just out in front of us, that you are hoping to tackle, a specific issue, or?
Yeah, I think right from the beginning, in 2006, the mayor at that time, Mayor Chrisman, had a big public meeting, and this room here was filled about our downtown. So we were getting quite a bit of investment coming into the town, 2005 and 6 and 7. But it was all going out towards the interstate, towards the interchanges. So it's like, what about our downtown? You know, are we just going to let it go? Or should we try to save it? Do we want to revitalize it? And I mean, this community wanted to save its downtown. So there was a lot of memories of what it was in the 50s and the 60s and how it was a very self-sufficient community. And so what would be the 21st century version of that small town downtown that we used to have? So we started planning on that. We got grants from the regional commission. We had a Virginia Tech group of young, I guess they were doing kind of a master's project that came down here and did an urban planning study of our downtown. And then we worked from that to create a vision with the creation of Hometown Strasburg, which became kind of the public advisory group. And then they started with a grant to do the streetscape, and it's kind of followed since then. So what I've been proud of is that in the last 10 years, what we've been able to do is, even during a recession, we've been able to leverage a lot of grant money to actually accomplish really a multi-million public investment in our downtown. I think you can just look out the window and see the facade improvements. Really excited about our new event space here. We're going to have the kids at the high school vote on the name for that, and so we're going to try to have a lot of youth involvement in that. So it's really exciting time. So to answer your question is, now that we've done this project, I kind of wanted to see where we are. Now it's time for a pivot into the industrial park. So the next few years will be, you know, how do we invest in there to bring jobs into town? And really that's going to be the new focus as we go forward in this next term and in future terms, is bringing jobs into Strasburg.
Love it. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Is there anything that we haven't touched on that you might want to cover, or just anything to say?
Oh, I can always talk.
Yeah.
I guess one thing, you know, sometimes if really your connection with what's going on in town is through the daily or through Facebook, you know, sometimes people say they're speaking for the people. And sometimes even those of us who sit up here, we forget that the people of Strasburg is not just maybe the half dozen or people that we talk to. The people is made up of 2,200 households that live here, and they're very diverse, and a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about what they believe on, you know, particular topics. One of the things I enjoy most about being an elected official are the parades. So Christmas time, Mayfest time, that's where I feel like I see the people, because they're all lined up there, and such gratitude for just a little lollipop or something. But I mean, this is a great town. People are very appreciative. They work hard. We're a working class community, and I really appreciate the diversity that we have. And so I just think, as a town and as a community, you know, we all embrace certain core values. You know, we care about each other. We look out for each other when somebody is having a bad time. I think we need to remember we need to listen to each other. We need to have conversation, and sometimes that's hard to do over Facebook. I think we need face-to-face interactions, and whether the council can come into your neighborhoods or how we do that to better talk with each other, just like we're talking now.
Yeah.
I think that's really important that we don't forget that.
That's good. That's what we'll wrap it up. Is there, if you could ask any question, this is going to go out onto social media platforms. You can ask any question and people will answer you. So is there anything you'd like to ask the residents?
I think the biggest thing, again, before us right now is what those 2,200 households think about this industrial park. I think we had this long conversation about the downtown and about that. Yeah, I think it would be really, whatever venue that is, whether, you know, we rally in this room, whether we can go out into neighborhood groups, and, or whether it's through, Mayor Taylor did an on live Facebook, which I thought was awesome. However we do that, I think it's important that this current council and the new council that they're voting on, that the people understand, first of all, kind of what the vision is, and then how they feel about that. Because this should be a community, I mean, this is going to impact all of us for a long time. So I think that's important, that we communicate with each other.
Yeah. Well, cool. Leave your questions, comments below, and I know Scott's not always on Facebook, but we'll get the questions to him somehow. Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely.
Best of luck
It's
to
a
you.
pleasure.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Bye.